Okay, I think we've got a time limit here to start. We have Monique here. She's the only one. I've heard from Cole. He said he was sick. Well, Cole, I am too. My nose ran last night more than a refrigerator. But, mine I think is sinuses. It's nothing catchy. All right. Your first test. I keep waiting for Jonathan and Savannah to take that test. Well, I'm giving up on both of them. I will give you that test back Thursday. If it's only Monique and me, I'll give Monique her test back and go over. And if anybody else has taken it and they're here Thursday, you'll get to go over your test. But you need to see where you are on test one. And Jonathan and Savannah, I'll have to count test two twice, or I'll have to give you a makeup test at the end of the semester. Probably on the exam day. So at this point, I'm not going to give any makeup test on test one. It's over with. It's been too long. But I'll do something for you, make that test up, even if it's at the end of the semester. But today we're going to look at, of course, equivalent units. And we bring PowerPoint up just for a few moments, and we'll mostly be using probably Notepad. Terry, I think you and Hillary, along with Monique and Cole, took that test. I know 4 of you took the test, maybe 5 of you. Uh, all right. Now, chapter 5 was job order. We'd already went to chapter 6, hadn't we? And I wrote up the wrong one here on. I don't know why it won't bring up. We did that time. It's hateful. All right, let's just look at a few things on process accounting. Most of our products are made through a process. And anyhow, to get unit costs, we should know by now how we get unit costs. It's just production cost divided by quantity. And we'll be calculating unit cost, okay? Uh, Production costs, we know, is materials, labor, and overhead. And then we have to look at actual first versus predetermined. We have materials requisition form and a time sheet just like you do in job order. Units produced, divide into units cost. Here's where I want to get to. Units, all right. Assume FIFO physical flow through the production department. Include units started last period, units started and finished, and so on. I don't want to use FIFO to start with. I want to use weighted average. But I want you to look at these two methods and try to distinguish between the two today. Process costed systems, weighted average. Now what they do, when you combine beginning inventory with started and finished, you've got transferred out. All right. Now, here under FIFO, I like to give you started and finished, beginning inventory, and ending inventory. We'll get to that in a moment. So you can do this, just make sure you add your beginning inventory to started and finished to get transferred out. The direct materials can be added just at the beginning, or all during, or at the end. We know labor has to be added throughout, and we know overhead usually is throughout. All right. You've got units to account for, units accounted for, do equivalent units, then do your cost, and it's what's called a production summary, a production report. Units to account for, units accounted for, and then equivalent units. So right here is the first part we want to cover. Parts 1, 2, 3. You see, if we had a 5,000 and we started in 2007, we know we've got that many we got to account for. Where'd they go? Well, if we transferred out this many units, subtracted from 2057, that left that many in inventory. But these two do have to match. Now, I can't give you anything here on equivalent units. I don't have the percent. So here's beginning work in process, started and completed, and ending work in process. Now we've got to assume started and completed, and we also got to assume we finished those 5,000. So transferred out would be 103,000. I'm going to make it this easy for you. Transferred out is equal to 103,000. Then the ending inventory for materials. Let me see how many units were. Ending work in process, 2,700 units. Materials, we had 100%. So we got the whole 2,700 units. Now that would give us a 2,057. The direct labor, it's some other percent of that 2,700. It's 80%. All right, before we get to FIFO, Monique, I've only got you here. But we're going to take beginning inventory, 5,000 units. Started in production, 400,000 units. In an inventory, let's say it's 10,000 units. The only thing you can do there, all right, add these two together, Monique, beginning and started. 5 and 400 is how much? Now, what went with, we're going to match that again. All right, we had 5,000 in the beginning, we started 400. That is 405,000, right? We have 10 left, so how many did we start and finish? We have 10 left. How many did we transfer out? Is that 395? All right, that's TO, transferred out. Okay, now for materials, all I want is transferred out, ending inventory. And if we transferred out 295 times 1, ending inventory, was that 395? If your ending inventory is, I guess all materials were added, and this 10, whoops. If all of your materials was added to this 10, so we'd have to add 10 here for materials. So 405 would be your answer for materials. But now if that ending inventory, I'm not making a good sense, I may have to bring up a notebook. If that ending inventory is 60% finished for labor and overhead, 6% of 10,000 would be 6,000. So your answer would be 401. Now, we're going to practice a problem before I go on for FIFO. We've got to get weighted average down first. All right, so let's go to a problem. Monique or whoever else is out there may be listening. Let's do a quick, actually, we haven't done 15, have we, Monique? All right, class, we're going to do exercise 15. Now, I'm going to bring Notepad up here to make that one make sense. Not worry about solutions. Let's get a handle on equivalent units. Jonathan, you and Co have not had managerial accounting. Now, some of these folks that's had managerial accounting, they know this. All right, so let's look at 15. We have 20,000 pounds in beginning working process. Now, your book says to take part 1 and 2, and that you're going to start 600,000 pounds. How many pounds do we have to account for? Not a dollar mark, it's pounds. All right. All right, we had beginning work in process 24, and we started 600. I don't know what I had up here. Now, what is 600 plus 24? That's 24. Now, we got, that's what, hey, that's what we're given. This is beginning inventory, and this is starting. That's what we're given. Our supervisor wants to know what we did with that 628. So, completed during September, 608. If that many was completed during September, how many does that leave in the ending inventory? 624 minus 608 is what? How much is that? Whoops, backwards. So what we have here is ending inventory and completed, and we have 624,000. Now it says completed. It didn't say started and completed. It means we always finish these beginning inventory. We finished 24. So 24 from 608 is what we started and completed. Now, if we completed 608, that's how many we transferred out. Now, here's the formula I've been giving you. Transferred out, ending inventory. Do that for materials, and do that for conversion costs, which is labor and overhead. Now, how many did we transfer out, Monique? 608. We completed that many. We just transferred them out. Now, Monique, we have 16 left. What percent did they say that was for materials? Labor and overhead are continuous, but materials are at the beginning of the process. So these, for materials, these 24,000, wait a minute, transferred out 608. Ended inventory 16, right? Transferred out starting was 7. Won't get too much here. The beginning inventory had materials. Transfer out includes beginning inventory. Something's funny here. Because if I do this, I get 624, and I don't want that. Did transfer out that many. We had 16 left here. Let me read that again. The due September is 608. 608. Now for labor and overhead, it was 65% completed. So I'll show you what materials is in a minute. Labor and overhead is transferred out plus 16,000 times 45%. 45% completed. That's the beginning. 65. Then only multiply 16,000 times 65. 65%. All right, I'm still worried about this transferred out for materials. They started 600, that's all materials. For materials, the answer should be 600,000. They already had materials in the 24. Should be 600,000 for materials. Labor and overhead is transferred out plus a percent. So this very well could be 618,400. It can never be more than 624. That's why I'm worried about materials. So I'm going to bring up the solution on this problem. Something's bothered me about it enough to have to go look at it. I'll be there in a minute. Sometimes it brings up down here. It'll let me know it's brings up anywhere.